everybody, and welcome to episode 2, a special Christmas edition. And this first one is called A Rainbow for Archie. So, this photograph is of my great nephew Jack. And behind this moment is one of the saddest and most painful stories that our family has ever lived through. Jack lives in Leeds with his mummy and daddy, so his daddy is my nephew, my sister's son. And the first picture was taken 12 months after his mummy was pregnant. We were all so excited and waiting to welcome this new little soul into the family. But things changed very suddenly, and it became one of the most challenging times for this beautiful little family. Jack's baby brother, Archie, was born with many problems. He came into this world on Monday and gained his little angel wings by Tuesday. His grandmother, my sister, who lives abroad, couldn't get to him because she'd had an accident and was in hospital. So I packed up and travelled to Leeds to try and help my nephew, to be there to support him. And I went to help register both the birth and the passing of this precious little boy Archie. During these days, it was very painful. It was awful to watch them go through what they were going through. And I was sitting with Jack. I'd taken him some gifts. I'd taken him gifts from everybody from home, trying to bring him a little comfort, as it was hard for a little boy to understand why his little brother didn't come home with his mummy and daddy from hospital. It was early October and it was dark outside, and Jack had just come home from school. Everything in the house felt heavy. There were lots of tears and lots of sadness, and the kind of quiet that grief only brings. Jack was sitting next to me. 1 minute he was telling me what was going on at school, and 1 minute he just froze, completely mesmerised by one of his gifts, which was a little teddy. And if you knew Jack, you'd know that was unusual, because he's a real live wire and usually a real chatterbox. He was just staring, still and quiet. Then suddenly this happened. A band of rainbow light, perfect, bright and vivid, just appeared across his face, right over his eye and his cheek, the whole side of his little expression. None of us could work out where it had come from. There were no prisms, no sunlight pouring in. It was dark. He'd just got home from school. There were no reflective surfaces, not like my house full of crystals. Nothing at all. Nothing made sense. Jack stayed utterly still. It's like he was staring into nowhere, utterly absorbed in his own little world. It was like he was listening to something only he could hear and only he could feel. And at that moment, I knew. I felt it. It was Archie, a beautiful, fizzy, bubbly energy in the room. A tiny little soul saying, I might be gone, but I am really still here. You cannot see me, but I'm with you. I'm always with you. You are my big brother. Well, it was quite emotional. It was a moment of comfort in the middle of heartbreak. And if you're watching this today, maybe the message is also for you. Love does not end. Souls do not disappear. And sometimes in the quietest moments, they show us that they're still near. This obviously was a very sad story. But because it's Christmas, I'm going to put another story in about the same family. There is another beautiful picture and another beautiful story. I will share this next for a Christmas extra for you. Keep listening. Hi everybody. So this is your Christmas extra, as I promised. Do excuse the state of me. I've just arrived home from Anglesey after a week trying to fix a hole in my caravan. So I tried to record this while I was there. I thought it would have been lovely to record, but the internet was rubbish, so I couldn't upload it. So as promised, this is Christmas Extra edition, and it's called A Birthday to Remember. This special Christmas edition was taken on a very special day. It was on a big birthday of mine, which was on the 5th of May last year. It was a proper family gathering, full of noise and chatter, all the characters who make us remember who we are and that we are loved. But it was also a very emotional day because these pictures were taken 18 months after little Archie passed. And Jenny, his mom, was pregnant again. In fact, she was very pregnant. Her baby was due on the 30th of May, and these pictures were taken on the 5th of May. I didn't want them travelling to the Wirral. As I said earlier, they live in Leeds, as it was really close to the baby's birth. And, you know, after all she'd been through with Archie, we were a bit worried. But they decided to surprise me. And Jenny and Matt and little Jack travelled all the way from Leeds to surprise me on my birthday. It was such a wonderful gesture. And but to be honest, I was really worried. I was worried that she went into labour on the Wirral because she had a caesarean booked. But we didn't want to put any downers on what was going on that day because it was a beautiful family gathering. Anyway, alongside all that joy and a little bit of anxiety, there was another feeling too. It was my first milestone birthday without Mum, and I missed her so much. She would have always been there, singing along, cheering everybody on. So, you know, I did think about her that day and wonder, was she watching over me? And as the day went on, the garden filled with family and laughter, I suggested we take a big group photograph. So just something to keep all of us together. And there was a load of us in a small garden. So we gathered in the corner of the garden, squeezed in shoulder to shoulder, and the picture was taken. And it wasn't until afterwards, after everything was tidied up and the hangovers were finished, that we noticed that it wasn't just an ordinary photograph. It does look like any family party, sunshine, smiling faces, a bit of glorious chaos, which is known in my family. But when you zoom in, something extraordinary appears. A strong beam of light comes straight down from the sky, and it doesn't fall anywhere else. It doesn't touch any other person. There must be 20, 30 people in that garden. It doesn't touch any other person, anyone next to Jenny, anyone around Jenny, not even me on my birthday. It doesn't land in the centre of the group. It falls directly, perfectly onto Jenny's pregnant belly. Right there where her new baby was lying, waiting to visit, waiting to be born into this beautiful family. And it was at that moment, before I saw the photograph, I silently said to Mum, you know, please look after Jenny while she's here. Please keep her safe and make sure she gets home before the baby comes. And most of all, make sure this baby is okay and make sure that he comes safely. That ray of light felt like her answer. It was just something else. It was a blessing. It was reassurance, and it was a present from my mum on my birthday. So Jenny did get home safely without going into labour, thank goodness, and everything was fine. And that photograph, that single beam of light touching just her belly, felt to me like a promise being kept. And at the end of May, that promise arrived. A new little soul came into the world, a baby brother for Jack. His name is Oliver, and this is a picture of Oliver. I think he was about a month old in this picture, and he is wonderful. He is funny. He is gorgeous. He's got white hair, and he looks just like his big brother. I've also put a photograph of me and Jade, who you saw last week. There's a picture of, we went bowling for Oliver's first birthday, so there's a first birthday picture, which is just beautiful. Oliver's arrival felt like a little miracle, and that light was born after what felt like such a long, long year. As I said, these pictures are beautiful. This story didn't end with grief. It ended with hope, with healing, and a baby that was held in unseen arms of those that came before him. I don't doubt for a minute that even Archie was there with my mum and with Jenny's grandmother, who had passed over as well a couple of years ago. And I think that Archie was being held, and that beam of light was telling us that everything was going to be okay. If you take anything from this Christmas episode, let it be this. When we ask our loved ones in spirit for protection, they hear us. When we ask for strength, it comes. And when life feels fragile, uncertain, or overwhelming, the light finds its way back to us. Souls stay with us. Love continues. And new life arrives carrying the blessings of those that we've lost. I want to say a happy Christmas to everybody. And although some people might be on their own, some people might be feeling sad because of loved ones that they've lost, but I want to say to you that you're never truly alone. Close your eyes for a minute and call them. Speak to them in their old familiar way, sending you lots of love and a merry, merry Christmas and all the best for the next year, 2026. As I said to my sister the other day, 2027. She said, Lynn, you've skipped a year. That doesn't surprise me. So have a great Christmas, and next Sunday you will receive episode number 3. Lots of love, everybody, and see you all again soon. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. May the path ahead unfold with clarity. May your heart stay open to the quiet signs, and may you always feel held by the light within you. Until next time, look for those signs, sending you love and positive vibes. With love from me, Lynn Robinson.